Hey guys, welcome to Everything Home Theater. If you haven't been here before, my name is Cody, and if you have been here before, thank you for returning. I really appreciate you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Captain America 4 Brave New World. First off, I want to start out by saying my wife and I really enjoyed this movie. Went in there with some expectations that some people were saying that it doesn't stand up to the other movies. Some people were saying this is a totally new generation and you can't look at this movie from the eyes of Iron Man and Thor. They're starting over and they're creating a new team, and that's what you've got to remember when you see this. And if you put that in your mind, you go in there with a different set of expectations and it comes out being a really good movie. This movie has anything that any Marvel or MCU fan could want, which include action, adventure, a storyline, cool tech things, lots of fighting.
Hulk's got lots of muscles.
Harrison Ford. Everybody loves Harrison Ford. Anthony Mackie plays a great Captain America. When Steve Rogers gave him the shield at the end of the Avengers, he didn't feel like he was worthy and he really didn't know what to do. But if you followed the plot line and the story of Falcon and Winter Soldier, it continued into that. And he didn't feel worthy and he gave it to the government. And the government picked a new Captain America. The US government ends up giving the shield to a gentleman named John Walker, who also had the super soldier serum. John had a little bit of a temper, and in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he did something with the shield that the government didn't want him to do. I'm not going to spoil it because it's actually a very good series. After doing that, Sam realized that he could be a better Captain America than John Walker was. And he could stand for the good. He could do what was right and make the government and Steve Rogers proud. So this movie takes place a little bit about a year after Falcon and Winter Soldier, maybe a little bit longer, as you start to realize that everybody in the movie is calling him Cap. Bartender gives him his drinks for free and says, "There you go. Thanks, Cap. It's on the house." So he's been Captain America for a while. At the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, you could see him training. He was running, he was doing push-ups, and he was practicing with the shield with the help from Bucky. Bucky helped him learn how to use the shield. So in this movie, 1 year later, he's actually very... So when you get into Captain America 4, and after his training, he's very proficient with the shield, and he's a skilled martial arts expert, and he's very good at twisting and turning and doing flips and chopping things with his wings. Even though a lot of it, can never happen, it's actually very entertaining and it looks really cool. He kind of has this landing, but he doesn't have hair, so he can't flip it like Black Widow, but he has this superhero landing that's really cool with the wings. Because he can fly faster than the speed of sound, a lot of stuff happens afterwards, and one of his weapons is actually kind of a sound-based attack. And he'll hit the ground, and then, like in the beginning, he lands and he stands up, and then he says, "Wait for it," and then the sound hits and just kind of knocks everybody back. The plot of the movie is down the road, and through all the movies, if you haven't watched them, Thunderbolt Ross, who's played by Harrison Ford in this. In case you didn't know, William Hurt passed away about a year ago, so rest in peace. Harrison Ford was recasted as Thunderbolt Ross, and through all the movies, he's been trying to find a way to make the super soldier serum in a way that wouldn't turn you green. And if you remember some of, like, the second Hulk in 2008, when he fought the Abomination, that was one of his attempts on the super soldier serum, and it was over injected and he turned into Abomination. But then in the middle of the movie, he was actually looked like a human, but he still couldn't beat the Hulk. So that's why the other soldier, I can't remember his name, but the other soldier injected more to compete and beat the Hulk. Thunderbolt Ross has been pursuing this forever, and he actually doesn't do it to himself in this movie. The real bad guy slash sympathizer in this movie is the leader, who is also Samuel Stern, was in the 2008 Hulk, and you could see when he got a little bit of gamma in him in the original part where Banner turned into the Hulk, his skull was kind of pulsing a little bit, but he still looked human. Ross had put more gamma stuff, shots or whatever it is, into him, which really deformed him for this movie. But the power that he has is he's able to take probabilities. So everything throughout the movie is you had a 77% chance of this, or there's a 92% chance of this. He's really got the probabilities down, kind of like Doctor Strange did when they were fighting Dormammu. And Doctor Strange sat and went through all of the realities and said there's a 1 in a million chance that, we can beat him. He does the same thing, but he does it without superpowers. That's actually how smart he is with this. President Ross had a heart problem, and so he used Samuel Stern to create a pill for him and help him get over it because he was pursuing the presidency. The pill secretly had gamma in it, and when he told President Ross that he needed to take this 3 times a day if he wanted to stay alive for his heart, President Ross didn't realize he was actually ingesting gamma that would be absorbed into his blood over time. And it did change him a little bit throughout the time he was taking it, but the more he took, the more active it became. And in the movie, he becomes the Red Hulk. This movie is a follow-up to Falcon and Winter Soldier and supposed to be Captain America, Brave New World. And it all kind of comes together and adds in a little bit of the Hulk. The way it takes place is a lot like it would be the next movie after the Hulk from 2008. And they reference a lot of this stuff throughout the movie. President Ross, his first encounter with his alter ego, Red Hulk, is on a ship when they're all trying to get to they call it the Celestial Island now, and it's when the Celestial started to come out of planet Earth, and the hand is sticking up, and then you can just see like the eyes like this. So the Japanese fleet and the American fleet are racing towards this island to lay claim to the adamantium that has been discovered on here. So they're racing for that, and the whole plan was to make President Ross break out into the Red Hulk. And he starts to, and then he gains control again. And this is Captain America's first big, his first big fight, where he's actually trying to stop the jets from attacking each other. And they're doing this because the leader has found a way to use music to hypnotize them and do what he wants. Isaiah Bradley, who was also in Falcon and Winter Soldier, was a super soldier from the 50s or 40s, the same time as Captain America, Steve Rogers' version, but he was not given credit for it. And they go into this a little bit, and it was very sad how the government treated him when he was a hero and stood up for his country. But they did imprison him for 30 years. They tested him. They did lots of things to him over the years, and then finally let him out, and he didn't want any part of America. He returns in this, and he's given credit for everything he did, and that's Captain America builds him a statue, and the bottom of it says thank you to Isaiah Bradley. He was actually declared dead, and he wanted to make sure he stayed off the radar, so it's a little bit different story there, but that would be a good side story for him. President Ross's second breakout as the Red Hulk is the final one for the film, and you've probably seen it in the previews, and he's giving a speech talking about what America is going to be doing, and everybody's asking him questions one after another about the kind of person he is and how, what his daughter thinks of him, what America thinks of him. And he starts to get really irritated and kind of frazzled as he's going back and forth to the reporters. And then he just kind of drops to the ground. And that's when you see his hand turn red. He starts changing. If you're not familiar with the Red Hulk is very strong like Hulk, but he doesn't get stronger the angrier he gets. Red Hulk is very strong the way he is, but when he gets angrier, he actually starts to produce heat. He can burn things, he can melt cars when he gets mad enough. That's his superpower, is strength and fire, heat. So when he grabs the carpet and you see the flames and you see all the stuff on his back, it's burning off of him. He's obviously got some very special pants, but that's a good thing. The fight between the Red Hulk and Captain America is fairly short. Captain America knows that there's no way to beat the Hulk by himself, so he's going to start with those speeches where you try to talk them down. You've got to calm them. The sun's going down low. Starts doing that. Starts talking your daughter, and you and your daughter need to go for a walk with the cherry blossoms and in the trees, and the sun's going down real low. Captain America states, I said, well, that's not working, and then a fight ensues. In the fight, you really see the power of the Red Hulk, as number one, he catches the shield with his bare hands and then he slams it into the concrete. Captain America hits him with his wings a couple times, but he catches those. The wings in this movie are a special gift from Shuri in Wakanda, and they're made out of vibranium. Vibranium has the ability to takes that kinetic energy and stores it so that it can release a bigger burst of energy. That is how he ends up beating the Hulk, is when they're fighting, Hulk comes up and he's beating on him, and you can see the wings just glowing brighter and brighter and brighter. And Anthony Mackie uses that kinetic energy to put the Hulk down. It's very temporary. And then he goes up and starts talking to him about his daughter, and that's what calms him down, and he turns back into President Ross. That's just a short breakdown. Go see the movie. I hope I didn't spoil it for you. Anthony Mackie is a great Captain America, and it's true to the comics. There were several Captain Americas. Sam Wilson was one of them. So this is staying true to the comics. Red Hulk is a real person from the comics. And this is a great movie. Don't let the negative critic reviews stop you from seeing this. Go into it with an open mind. It's got good special effects. There's probably one or two areas where I thought it didn't look great, but other than that, it looks great. The budget of this movie was $180 million, and in opening weekend on the second day, they're already at 88. They're projected to go over 100 for the weekend. We do have a holiday this weekend, which is President's Day, so there will be 4 days there where people can actually go watch it opening weekend. Projected income of this movie, they're saying, is $194 million, but as word gets out and people start seeing that this is actually a good movie, I think it'll beat that projection. Anyway, thank you for visiting Everything Home Theater. I appreciate you guys. Please subscribe, like this video, comment below on what you thought of the movie. Tell me what you thought of the special effects and Captain America being Sam Wilson. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. This is hard.
You were just ending it.
Yeah, I was, huh? Anyway.